Today, I'm going to be talking about the types of cardio that got me shredded and the types of cardio you should include in your plan if you want to lose body fat. There is a ton of misinformation about cardio online. People say that you should completely avoid it and just focus on diet, or people will tell you to do some stupid sprint routines. I can't believe the amount of times I've seen these sprint routines promoted by doctors and coaches. It makes no sense. You've probably seen this online, but I'll play a video of it just in case you haven't.
Sprinting completely sheds body fat. Okay, running fast, but not long distance running. It only takes 6 minutes. Run as fast as you can, and then give yourself a 1 minute break. Then run as fast as you can for 90 seconds. Then run as fast as you can, 1 minute break. Then run as fast as you can for 60 seconds, and then The
common argument I hear is that EAT, so energy, activity, thermogenesis, so the amount of calories you burn through exercise, is only 5% of your total TDEE, so your total daily energy expenditure. So for example, let's say you burn 2,000 calories a day, your TDEE is 2,000 calories. 5% is 100 calories. That is such a low amount of calories you're burning through exercise a day if it's 5%. And what coaches do not tell you about your energy, activity, thermogenesis, so the amount of calories you burn through exercise, is you can change it. It doesn't have to stay at 5%. You can make it 10, 15, 25, 30, 35% if you really want to, or more. For an Olympic swimmer, I can imagine it's a lot more than 5%. I would guess it's 40, 50, 60%, depending on how many hours they're in the pool every day. At the end of my bodybuilding prep, when I was eating 1,200 calories, I was doing an hour of cardio every single day. I was doing 15,000 steps and I was working out in the gym. So I imagine it was a lot more than 5%. I would say it's probably 30, 35, 40% at that point in time. What you need to understand is when you're dieting, your energy output, so your EAT, energy, activity, thermogenesis, increasing that is your biggest weapon in losing body fat. The biggest reason why diets fail is because of hunger, because you gradually decrease your calories over time. So if you increase the amount of exercise you're doing and the amount of calories you're burning through exercise, you can increase and sustain a higher amount of calories. So you don't have to eat and feel like a starving little child throughout the course of your diet. You can actually eat more throughout the course of your diet while still losing body fat. As well as that, something people do not talk about, just to be a healthy human being, you have to do cardio. If anyone else tells you otherwise, they are lying. The minimum recommended amount of cardio to do a week to be healthy is 150 minutes. So if you're not even meeting that threshold, you want to first get yourself to that point just to be healthy. So much of how you feel physically and mentally is dependent on how much cardio you do. And I love weightlifting. I think it's very important for your health and just aesthetically how you look as well. I've done it for 7+ years, but I can tell you, out of weightlifting and cardio is more important for your health and how you feel. Sure, having a aesthetic physique is important, but your heart is the most important muscle in your body. And if you're not regularly training that, you are seriously missing out on a lot of health benefits. And just the way you feel after you do cardio, you feel amazing. You get a lot more of that endorphin release in comparison to when you do weights. And I can tell you from years of experience that that's the case. And the last myth promoted by a lot of coaches, which I cannot stand, is that they say the more you do cardio, the more your body gets used to doing cardio and you burn less calories. So that is very bro science. And it's actually the opposite. The more you do cardio, the more effective you get at burning calories. You become a better butter burner. For example, Lance Armstrong, one of the best cyclists in the world, performance enhancing drugs or not, he burns easily over 1,000 calories in an hour because he's so cardiovascularly fit. Whereas someone who's never done cardio in their life gets on a bike, they won't be able to burn 600. They'll probably burn 300-400 because they haven't built up that fitness. The more you do cardio, the more you build up that fitness, the more calories you can burn through in the same amount of time. And this is why you should do it year round. You shouldn't just wait for when you do a cut. You should do cardio year round. So when it comes time to cut, you are more effective at burning calories and the whole process is a lot easier. It's almost the equivalent of a Ferrari is able to burn a lot more fuel in the same amount of time and go a lot faster than a Toyota Yaris. that was my old car, and it broke down many times, and eventually I had to take it to the dump when it was finished. It was older than me, that car. But yeah, my old Toyota Yaris would not be able to burn nearly as much fuel than a Ferrari. It's the same with human beings. The more fit you are, the more calories you can burn, the more fuel you can burn in the same amount of time. The leanest people do cardio year round, and they exercise year round. It makes sense, okay? So if you want to be lean year round, do cardio year round. Now that I've talked about the extensive list of benefits with cardio, what cardio should you actually be doing? You should be doing LISS cardio. LISS means low intensity steady state cardio. So a cardio that you can sustain for a long period of time, not HIIT cardio. So that's high intensity interval training. There are some exceptions, like if you love doing a type of HIIT, I would say still do it because enjoyability is sustainability and you'll do it for a long period of time. But I would avoid doing HIIT purely being because if you're weightlifting as well, if you do HIIT cardio, it's not going to allow you to recover that well from your weight training sessions. And that's why LISS is a lot more effective. Not only will it allow you to burn a lot more calories in the same amount of time, but it will also allow you to recover from your weight training sessions as well and not add on extra unnecessary fatigue. Some examples of LISS that I did during my cut when I got shredded was the incline treadmill. That's my favorite. That's the best in my opinion. The Stairmaster is good as well, and the cross trainer is good as well. My favorite is the incline treadmill because not many people are even fit enough to do the Stairmaster for a long period of time. And the cross trainer, I find, just feels a bit weird if you're doing it for a long time. I find the incline treadmill is the most enjoyable. Feels like you're climbing up a mountain, like you're going somewhere. Even though you're not going anywhere, you're just walking on the same pad for 30, 40, 50, 60 minutes in the same spot. Feels like you're on a journey, you know? But the elliptical just feels a bit, I don't know. You know what I mean, right? Now, these types of lists are pretty boring. So you need to spice it up a little bit. One way I used to do that was by watching podcasts on my phone or YouTube videos, or I'd listen to music. That was also really good. I used to listen to the Rocky soundtrack when I was doing my incline treadmill. I used to also do work on my phone. So I'd respond to clients while I was on my phone. I would create content while I was on my phone, and time when I was doing that, out of those things that I've just mentioned, working on your phone will speed up the quickest because you're like so focused on this one thing. And it makes the cardio fly by. So that's what I would suggest doing, like message random people that you need to message, and it will go a lot quicker. Also, if I did listen to music, I would visualize. So I was preparing for a bodybuilding show. I would visualize me being on the bodybuilding stage and me being at my leanest body fat percentage ever. I would visualize that in my head while I was doing the cardio. And that kind of builds that positive connotation with cardio. It builds that connection, your why to doing it. And that makes you more motivated to do it as well. And that is LISS cardio. You can also do things like running. Running is harder on your joints and your legs and will give you more fatigue. But if you do enjoy running, I understand, because I like running as well. I've recently discovered that I'm training for a boxing fight, so I've recently started running. Makes you feel amazing, so if you do want to do that, you can do as well. Swimming, also a bit harder on your body. But if you enjoy these different forms of LISS cardio, then go ahead. But the lowest fatigue and most effective are those boring ones that I mentioned earlier. The second type of cardio you should do is a cardio that you enjoy. Like I said, if you really like HIIT and it's your favorite thing to do in the world, I don't know why it would be, do that. For me, I loved boxing, which is a type of HIIT. It's not as intense as most HIIT, which is where you're like going extremely hard on like an assault bike or something like that. Boxing, you're boxing for 2-3 minutes and then you're having a minute break. You're boxing for 2-3 minutes, minute break. But I love boxing. It makes me get into a flow state. I'm learning a skill while I'm doing boxing and the time flies by. And you should find out what you enjoy. So it could be a sport. It could be paddle, tennis, golf, boxing, a different martial art, Brazilian jiu-jitsu, wrestling. These are hard on your body, but if you enjoy them, it's worth the trade-off, and you might have to adjust your weight routine depending on how much you enjoy these sports. But these are all amazing because not only are you socializing, which also releases endorphins, you're going to be burning extra calories. It's not going to feel like exercise as well. It's just going to be built into your life. You're not doing it to exercise. You're doing it to learn a skill, to socialize, to actually enjoy yourself. So yeah, you want to find one of these types of cardio that you really love, and it's going to be something you pursue, not just for the sole purpose of burning calories and being healthy. It's for the purpose of actually wanting to do that thing. That was the video, guys. Hopefully you got value out of this, and hopefully you understand how important it is to do cardio year round. If you want to work with me one-to-one and you want me to help you get lean, click the top link in the description. I'm helping many people at the moment. I've got a couple of guys working towards a photo shoot, which is really exciting. They're getting really lean. But if you want help with that and you want someone to hold you accountable and you want someone to help you build the habits that can get you in the best shape of your life, click that top link in the description. If you made it this far, you might as well hit the subscribe button, and I'll see you in the next video.